McLaren is a team that has a rich history in Formula 1, and it is considered as the third most successful constructor in F1. They have won 8 constructors' titles and 12 drivers' titles up to this date. In number of race wins, they are only behind Ferrari with 183 victories. But McLaren achieved the majority of all these milestones before the beginning of the turbo hybrid era in F1. McLaren is yet to find a successful engine supplier to power their Formula 1 program since the beginning of this era. They tried with Honda, Renault and Mercedes, but the Woking-based team didn't enjoy much success with any of these engine manufacturers. Now they are looking for a new engine partner for 2026. The year 2026 is a remarkable year for Formula 1, as new generation power units are going to be introduced with many regulation changes. According to the latest reports, McLaren has shown their interest in the RedBull powertrains, and we are going to discuss about that story in this video. But before we proceed, hit that subscribe button and smash the bell icon for more exciting updates. Last time McLaren won a world title was with Hamilton back in 2008. At that stage, they had a strong partnership with Mercedes, as the German automobile brand was only an engine supplier that year. So Mercedes were truly dedicated to the success of the McLaren team. But everything changed when Mercedes decided to join F1 as a constructor in 2010. As they didn't enjoy much success with Mercedes engines after 2010, they ended their 2-decade-long partnership with Mercedes in 2014. They then moved to partnership with Honda and Renault, but those partnerships were a failure, and they returned back to Mercedes. Except Mercedes, none of the other engine manufacturers were able to produce a power unit with title-winning capabilities till 2021. On that season, Honda finally produced a power unit capable of winning titles. As a result, Red Bull won the Drivers' Championship at the conclusion of the 2021 season, finally ending Mercedes' 8-year dominance. Unfortunately, Honda planned to leave the sport even before the commencement of the 2021 season, and they left the schedule despite the championship they won with Red Bull. So, Red Bull was without a power unit supplier for the next season, and they overtook Honda's Formula 1 program, rebranding it as the Red Bull Powertrains. These Honda engines proved to be successful again after winning the dual championship in 2022. But in addition to their technical partnership with Honda, Red Bull hired many top officials from rival teams to strengthen their power unit manufacturing program. For the 3rd consecutive year, these engines appeared to be strong, as Red Bull easily won the Bahrain GP with 1-2 finishes without much challenge from the rival teams. However, their partnership with Honda will be over before 2026, and Ford will replace them as their technical partner. Red Bull started their powertrain program only with the intention of supplying engines for Red Bull and its sister team AlphaTauri. But recent developments showed that other teams also have shown their interest in buying engines from the Red Bull powertrain company. The media questioned Red Bull team principal Christian Horner about the rumours regarding McLaren's interest in buying Red Bull powertrains from 2026 at the season opener in Bahrain. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner confirmed that they had held an initial discussion with the McLaren F1 team regarding the possibility to supply power units from the 2026 season. "I thought Brown was coming for lunch," Horner said. "It's obvious that, as a power unit manufacturer for 2026, it's inevitable that discussions are going to be held regarding potential powertrain supply. And that's only natural that we would speak with potential customers," he added. McLaren team principal Andrea Stella also didn't deny the statement of the Red Bull team principal. "We have a solid partnership with Mercedes high-performance powertrains. At the same time, it's obvious that looking far forward, you want to understand what's available. So I think that's natural. It shouldn't be too much of a surprise," he said. McLaren aren't the only customer team weighing up their options, as Williams boss James Vowles recently said that his squad is reviewing whether to continue to use Mercedes power units from 2026. The Silver Arrows currently supply McLaren, Aston Martin and Williams, Stella added further. There are only 4 active engine suppliers in Formula 1, and Mercedes is supplying engines for the majority of these teams. In addition to their factory team, Mercedes is supplying engines for Aston Martin, Williams Williams and McLaren. But most of these Mercedes customer teams are not among the top performers in recent years. There is a huge gap between the Mercedes factory team and the customer teams in terms of performance, and customer teams are not happy about that matter. According to the rumours, both McLaren and Williams are searching for new engine manufacturers from 2026. Both Audi and Ford have confirmed their participation in F1 from 2026. Audi is ready to join F1 as a full factory team by taking over operations of the Sauber F1 team. But Ford's participation in F1 will be somewhat different, as they are ready to join only as the technical partner of the RedBull Powertrains. Before Ford, Porsche also showed their interest in joining F1 as an engine supplier with Red Bull, but Red Bull didn't agree with their terms, and those discussions failed. Cadillac also showed their interest to join with the proposed Andretti F1 team. Many automobile brands have showed their interest in joining F1 as engine suppliers in the near future, and Horner said the new brands joining would mark a halcyon period for the motorsport. To have that many manufacturers coming into the sport, I think is great for Formula 1 to have that variance, said Horner. We're going to be welcoming Audi, we're going to be, as Red Bull Ford, embarking on a new journey as well. Plus, obviously, the incumbents, and as you say, if anybody else chooses to join in the meantime. So I think it's fantastically exciting for Formula 1. It's a halcyon period for the sport, and to have manufacturers wanting to be involved, you know, it's a testament to the strength the sport currently enjoys. And we've just got to make sure that for 2026 we get the product right, because bringing newcomers and so on in, we've got to ensure that the engine regulations and the chassis regulations marry up, that the product that we have isn't compromised, or it doesn't detract from the kind of racing that we've seen these cars starting to achieve, the Red Bull team principal added further. Red Bull Powertrains are currently enjoying a greater success with the rebranded Honda engines, and when it comes to 2026, conditions will be totally different as Ford is going to support them as a technical partner. Even though Ford was once a successful engine manufacturer in F1 2 or 3 decades ago, they have had no better experience with these hybrid Formula 1 engines. So there is a considerable possibility to fail from 2026 as well. But Red Bull is investing heavily for the success of their power unit program and hopes to remain on top even after 2026. Selecting Red Bull Powertrains as the engine manufacturer is somewhat similar to the deal that the McLaren team is already having with Mercedes, as both are running their own factory teams. If McLaren needs a dedicated engine supplier for their team, they can find a better option than Red Bull, as there are many manufacturers who are ready to join F1. What do you think about the McLaren and Red Bull Powertrain partnership? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel to get more exciting Formula 1 news. See you in the next video, guys. Take care. Goodbye.